Hello, beautiful people. Let me make this live. This public. This live has to be public. Public. That's the very first thing that we need to do this evening. Hello, everybody. Let's just hope the network is not gonna show me flames today. It is public. Hello, guys. I don't know what is happening. Why can't I invite my guest for the evening? Oh, what is happening here? Oh, Jehovah. What am I going to do now? It says error occurred. Error occurred. What is the error? What is this error? Okay. Oh, I don't know his email address. Let me ask for his email. Hello, guys. Please just be patient just for a minute. Let me send by email because I don't know by messenger what's happening. It doesn't go through by messenger. Hey, and he's not even on. He was last on Facebook 10 hours ago. But we confirmed. Hey, Lona. Leboni, what happened in Limpopo? Oh, Jehovah. What can I do now? What next? What next? What's next? Okay, let me try this. Let me try send myself this by email. And then maybe I can pass it to him. Guys, go balibe patient hanyani. I'm looking for my guest for the evening. I don't know where he is. Why should I put in a different email address? I say, who got the online? Hey, yini manje le engiyiboniswayo? Yo. Okay. Copy. Send again. Hello guys. Excuse me. Yo, now I look like Mutual disorganized. I've been here since o'clock trying to figure this thing out. Yo, hakiso sukuli hakana in my life. Copy, then send. Kim sendele the invite. And where is Lydia? Lydia! Is Miguel here, guys? Tunikiwele was earlier today, Mister. Where is she now? Okay, here she is. Hello guys. Ari bueng ka ntho. Ba tla re tswela pele. At least ra tseba o na le ntho tla bonala ha loga in. Ha re bueng ka this guy wa Limpopo a entseng ana alive-ileng the girl. I don't know if you have seen that. Hi Sisi, thank you so much. Thank you. I see you now. Oh, my messages were. Please, Lwazi, before we go far, okay, please call him and please make sure that this live is public. Can you see it is public on your side? No, I just said I've been struggling and I've been busy the whole day. I could not give it a full thought, but I've sent it this evening. But I did check up with him today to ask him if we are still on. He said yes, we are still on. Let me just check again that it is public. Yeah, it is public. And the other one must also be public. Okay, they are both on public. So this guy decided I had to make sure I have the notification for your life. Our Mindlos, thank you so much, Mindlos Mpepu. Thank you, Pulani Matejane. Thank you, Loazi, for being here. Hey guys, go busy. Tom, I want us to talk in the meantime before our guest comes. No, Loazi is calling him. Don't worry. He's been taken care of. He will respond and tell us whether he is maybe somewhere. Um, maybe he's tied up somewhere. So this guy, Ona live the girl, ne, who he was in a relationship with. His reasons were that she was cheating with the teacher and whatnot, and then he got the evidence, and then he unalived her and dumped her at the door of that teacher, and thereafter um he went live on Facebook. He was with a friend, and then he went and qesha himself as well. So I was like, yo, the things we are, it's difficult, guys. Lozzie, are you finding him? Each time we are getting into relationships these days, we should be worried. We should really be worried because we could be signing up our lives over to the hands of the people that we are thinking we are in love with, the people that we think they love us as much as we love them, the people that we think we are safe in their hands. We could be signing up our lives to them just by saying, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, we can be in a relationship because I get and then all of a sudden you agree only to find out that you have agreed wena le yena le bosofa selahlane, and if anything happens on your side or on his side, ke chai for wena, it's chai for you kankani. So yeah, inkinga lezo esibhekane nazo. And then nahana the nerve to go live, the nerve to go live and tell the world all that, and I don't know why. Lona le tlong accuse ka hore na I'm biased. Now I know someone in my life who is my relative, close relative, who sees things that do not exist with the wife. He accuses the wife with anything and everything. We can be like, then all of a sudden, a bona mang a shebile the wife, give fault to the wife. O gona fa mona o shebile e motho le maka la ntho le kopantshitseng, ya o jola le ena, ya you are effing her, you are effing him, waka mamela ha tlo e bua sa tlo ipheta, the more answers Peter story so the more as believer, the more nkareng yo you'd swear o bua nnete. If you don't know him, you'd swear o bua nnete. So with this guy, the way he starts the conversation by saying ho motho a nang le ena, wena ke batla o tlo bua this, I want you to tell this story, ke batla o tlo bua this story. So ha ba o botsa o tlo bua this story, tells me or actually there is a chance that there was no such. So that must be the story. He makes himself look like a victim before he dies, so that how to went into so, but it's because he was pushed by this and this and this. The reason hape ke nahana jwalo is because he claims at some point go tlwetse mosebetsi a gona tloela a resigna mosebetsing just to be with this girl. Who resigns from work? Ke mang a resigna mosebetsing a dule hae? I'll tell you ke mang, ke Mofokeng. You know, there was a song when I grew up, it used to say, Mofokeng, wa makatsa, a sebetsi, o hlola le mosadi, o na sebetsa, ha mmasepala, o tlohetse mosebetsi ka baka la ho boulela, ha wa loka. That song, there are men who get so jealous, they would even leave the job. Baugate. Still, Pastor Khotsofa. So I don't know. Maybe he had reasons not to trust. Maybe the girl did really cheat. But we must also leave a space for the chance that that girl did not even do that she is accused of. There is that slight chance. The relationship she is told she had with someone, it was on this guy's head. It's like he was planning to die anyway. Why would you leave a job? And then another word that he has spoken that left worry in me is when he said, ne ke be ke sa batle gore a ratane le mang kapa mang o mong ntle le nna. It says, if I can't have you, no one can. Such people, dangerous. Guys, it doesn't look like we're gonna win tonight. Oh, he's now online. Okay, yes, I see him online. I think he will just click in now. I hope the link does not give him troubles because I struggled to send the link. It was not sendable. I had to even send it to my email. Mr. Mavhengani, please don't leave.
Okay, I'm coming. Okay, I'm here.
Okay, my electricity just went off. Yeah, guys, I bet like today. Yeah, please hold on here. Okay, guys, we're about to start. Stage. Aibo. Eko pa unlatele and then when it's more. Nga phone yaka with planning more, please. Yo, ask easy. But I'm trying to put you. I can't say it's along. Yo,
But I can see you.
why can't I see you now? Yo, when I'm screen is yan. Wait, this is a bit oh. So black at on this step, but you don't want to be this step right now. At to stage. At to stage. Thank you. All right, excuse me, Abuti. Abudi, how are you? I'm
good. And you?
Yo, things that are happening here today, Icon. How are you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm good. Thank you again tonight for availing yourself. Please, let's just check that the live is one. Let's just check that the live is public.
Okay, let me check also.
Please, Loazi, check on our side. Please check for me. Bangile Foniaka, they're gonna use it for something now.
Okay.
He claims. Please, Loazi, check on our side.
Oh yeah, I think I can on my phone. I can see you when I look.
Okay. Please check for me. Bangile Foniaka, they're gonna use it for something now.
Oh.
Well, we are both audible. I can see it when I'm off the live, so it is okay. Thank you, Loazi. Thank you for the heads up. Guys, our main man on the legal seat tonight needs little introduction because if you don't know him, you are on all the wrong spaces. You need to be following him very closely on his page, which is Mudi Mavhengani. Please follow him. You need to be. And you don't have to follow him only when you are facing divorce. You have to follow him even when you are not facing divorce. Even when kumnandi, you need to follow him because you need to equip yourselves with the advices that he gives all the time. And that those advices can work for your sisters, brothers, anybody that you know. Say, how are you? Is there anything that you'd like to start by saying tonight?
No, I can just encourage people to get married.
Do what?
To get married, but to do so with knowledge of what they're getting themselves into.
And I think you want them to get married in committee of property.
Yeah, it's like that regime is like you're creating employment. So we have to grow our economy. So we have to create employment.
And they must also carry on lobolaring themselves without signing prenuptials.
Yeah, otherwise we are going to run out of work. That's the problem. Yeah, because there are firms which are only dealing with divorce matters like us. So it's like we'll run out of work.
Okay.
So yeah, but people should do so at least with knowledge.
Okay. So one question that I want us to start with before I get to the question that was sent by a follower is people have this tendency that I've heard repeatedly of saying they are afraid to initiate divorce because the person that initiates divorce stands to lose more. Please set the record straight on that matter.
Yeah,
Is there such a thing?
It's a question that I've also encountered. There are people who believe so. Usually, it's women, and I think maybe there are people who are trying to scare them, or maybe it's the husband who's trying to scare them to say that if you initiate divorce, you are going to lose. It is not true.
Yes.
It is not true. Uh, if the other party is of the opinion that the marriage has broken down and that there are no prospects of restoration of a marriage, they can initiate divorce. The court is not going to blame that person just for initiating divorce. It is not going to. It's not true, and it's not going to be the case.
Mm.
Mm. It is not true.
Because I've heard that a lot. Yes, I've heard that a lot. And then now getting into the question coming from a follower,
Mm.
she says she was lobolad in 2019.
Mm.
And then after a while, after that lobola, then they moved in together with the husband, because it
Mm.
seems like she does not know that that was the husband. So
Mm.
they moved in together, and at the same time, the guy already had another relationship that was running concurrently with this one.
Mm.
Both relationships were running parallel, but he lobolad her.
Mm.
And then later on, they had two children. They had a child, and then they had a child. And he was doing exactly the same on their side as well.
Mm.
He had two children again on the other side. And
Mm.
then inside here, he had two more children. So
Mm.
inside the marriage, he has four. But
Mm.
this is the lobola that was not registered at
Home affairs.
Home
At home affairs.
Affairs. And then yes, and then there are two children
Mm.
on the side.
The other
Now, it
side,
so
yeah.
happened as time went on, the mother of the two outside children
Mm.
passed on. And
Mm.
then the father decided to fetch the children to the home, to their home.
Mm.
Now, things became very tense between them because of
Mm.
that reason.
Mm.
Now, the question to you is, she is considering divorce. He wants to know, because there are three cars as
Mm.
well that
Mm.
Hasbi does not even want to give. So she
Mm.
wants to
If,
know
if,
what are
if,
her
you can,
thoughts.
if you can bear with me so that I can switch off the ringtone on this other one.
Okay. Musa, number hakina yona ikwa mchini. Bezaka next door here because by the mchini.
Okay, thank you. We can proceed. Okay, she wants to know. You said that she wanted to institute divorce. There are three cars. And then,
And Habi does not want to share. If she divorces, she must know that Habi says she must just go like that. She won't get a thing. Mm.
okay. So,
Sh-
uh, so in other words, she wants to know what's in for her in the if she will proceed with divorce.
Yes, and they have a house as well.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay. In terms of the law, if they are married without a prenup, in other words, without entering into an anti-nuptial contract, their marriage is automatically in communal property, where upon divorce, parties have to share the joint estate. In other words, they will have to share on the liabilities and the assets of the
Mm.
joint estate. It's not up to the husband or to the wife or to one of the parties to decide what the other parties gets, what the other parties does not get. It's up to the court. The court is going to order division of the joint estate if the person who's claiming divorce is asking for division of the joint estate. So
Okay.
parties can only agree on, maybe if let's say the husband wants to keep the three cars, he can propose, and then if the other party agrees that the husband can take the three cars, then they can enter into a settlement agreement where they share items according to how they wish. But it has to be by agreement, not because one of the parties is wishing it to be so. That is not going to
Mm.
be the case.
Mm.
In other words, if she can foresee that there is going to be difficulty in achieving goals, then she rather approach an attorney who's going to assist to go through this divorce, because already we can foresee that there's going to be issues. The husband does not want to share the joint estate.
So yeah, I hope she is in the comment section, and I hope she is listening, because that was her question. Um and what I've realized is that, again, sometimes it's like the women are not so sure about divorce. It's like they want, when they ask questions in terms of they want advice from someone to say, they would say, I have this problem and what should I do? I'm considering to leave. What is your advice on the matter when a person is not so sure about whether they want to leave or they still want to work things out?
Usually, I don't advise such people. I Because in terms of the law and in how I work, is that the marriage has to be broken down, and then there must not be prospects of restoration of a marriage. So if a person can
Yes.
come, but I can see that they can still sort out their issues, I do advise them to mediate the issues or to fix their issues. I even have pastors from around here. I'm a member of Assemblies of God, so I do have pastors that deals with counseling. So sometimes I do call the pastors and see if they can organize counseling for them, because a divorce should be the last option in a marriage. So if there are prospects or the chances that they can still fix their issues, we encourage people to fix their issues, to get their families involved so that they can try to sort out their issues. It's only when we can see that
Don't do that to me.
the
Oh,
marriage cannot be saved that
the
we.
electricity can ask is the electricity just came back. Now it disturbed the connection. Yes, you were saying you've got pastors that you work with.
Yeah, that I can also say that I work with. I can say that maybe ministers around that
Okay.
they're also marriage officers. I mean, they're also
Okay.
counselors, marriage counselors. So I do call
Yes.
them, and so that they can have sessions just to try to solve their issues.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's
All
not
right.
every issue that a person should consider divorce when they're facing those issues. Some issues you can see
True.
that it's just a matter of anger or something that can be solved between the parties. We
That
only
is
want
true.
parties who are sure or who we can see that this marriage cannot be resolved anymore. Those are
Yes.
people that we can say proceed to divorce. But we cannot just say proceed to divorce if you can see that there's a chance that you guys can fix your issues. Because once you start
Yes.
a divorce, there's no going back. That's the problem, because there will be trust issues. You cannot start divorce
Yes.
and then later on, when you regret your decision, you stop the divorce and you think that things are going to be normal. It's not going to be normal.
That is true. That is very true. So I would like you to tell us about all the services that you are providing. I want
Okay,
you to tell the followers what is it that you do, every service that you are providing, please.
you're saying it as if they're men.
There
So
are many.
another person, another person
There
will
should
call
be
me and ask.
many.
A person will call me, or when let's say I'm attending another session at church, they'll ask me what do I do, and then I say
Yes.
I do divorce. Then they'll ask
Mm.
what else do you do, and they say divorce. Then they'll ask me what else do you do. I say divorce.
When I'm Mudi. So you do
So
divorce and divorce and divorce
so
and divorce.
so if I'm wearing my gown and I'm attending the court,
Yes.
I'm only
Yes.
there for divorce. So I can say that
Okay.
99% of our court matters is divorce, especially these
Mm.
customary marriages where parties did not register the marriages. And then I
Yes.
can say maybe about 0.8% is change of marriage regimes where parties are already married in communal property and then they would like to change from in community to out of communal property. Also do those matters. So in our office, I can say that they also constitute about 0.8%. And then the 2% maybe is to register customary marriages where we find that parties are married, but their marriage is not registered. And then one of the spouses maybe passed away. Then the families are trying to fight the surviving spouse or to take assets from the surviving spouse because they will be arguing that the marriage is not valid or they didn't finish lobola or there was no rituals, ceremonies done, or they didn't comply with all aspects of customary marriages. I do assist in such cases to register those kind of marriages. But usually I can say that almost all my matters are divorce. I no longer take anything else. I'm also a
But
conveyancer by profession, but I'm not practicing as a conveyancer. I just a few matters that I'm taking, and then I'm also in the public. So if I'm in court, those are kind of matters that we do. But in the office, I also do marriage contracts. If parties want to marry out of community property, they cannot do so without approaching a notary public. So I'm also a notary public by profession. So
okay,
I do marriage contracts.
right. So, do you see how many things that you are doing? You're doing a lot. You think you're not doing a lot? It's a
Yeah,
lot. That's a lot.
but soon I think I'll be doing divorce only.
Really? But that's divorce only already. But do you see how many different sections of it that you are dealing with?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Now
these others
you
actually,
mentioned
yeah.
you mentioned something very important,
Mm,
changing the regime of the marriage
mm,
contract.
mm,
Please explain that slowly and
mm.
in a way that a person, a layman can understand. No legal
Okay,
terms, please.
okay,
Layman, yes.
yeah,
Layman
okay,
terms.
okay. I'll try to be as slow as I can. So
Yes.
if parties are married in terms of a certain regime, which is usually in communal property, many parties are doing so without knowing the consequences of their marriage, of what they are entering into. And then it's only after or during marriage that they find out that they are in communal property and exactly what the consequences there entail.
Yes.
And then in some cases, parties just marry in communal property without foreseeing maybe their where they are going with their careers. There are people who maybe may leave their work and then start to run businesses. So if you
Yes.
were to get legal advice, then that's when you're going to be told that if the business does not go well, it can have effects on your marriage or on the joint estate. In other words, you can affect yourself and then even the other party that you're married to because of the liabilities that maybe as a business person you are failing to pay on the other side. Because as a businessman, what happens that when you want to incur liabilities like loans, they want you as the owner of the business or a director to sign as surety so that if the business doesn't do well, then they know that when as the owner of the business, you are going to be able to pay. So now because you are in communal property, then your spouse is also party to that surety. In other words, there are effects from the business to the joint estate. You can lose a home just because your spouse failed to run that business or maybe the business incurred liabilities. So during marriage, people are going to find out that whatever assets they had before marriage is included in the joint estate. It's like there are many things that people are going to find out after marriage if they didn't consult before marriage. So that's when now
Yes.
they'll sit down and decide if it's worth to remain in communal property or if it's worth it to change. Then this change cannot be done by one person. In other words, if one spouse is unhappy about income property, you cannot change on your own. It has to be a joint application by both spouses, where now they are going to approach an attorney, and then an attorney has to take or bring an application to court. In the application itself, the parties will have to enter into an agreement, and then we'll do a draft contract of what is it that they or how they want to regulate their matrimonial properties going forward. In other words, we enter into a contract now, yeah, before we go to court, and then in that contract, we also have to agree on how are we going to deal with the current assets and liabilities. In other words, if let's say the husband has a house, we have to decide how is this house going to be dealt with after the change of marriage. Because remember now, they are already in communal property. This house belongs to
Yes.
all of them. Then
Yes.
they'll agree that okay, we can change, but this house can be awarded to both of us. In other words, or this house can be awarded maybe to the husband. You can keep the house. Maybe the wife can keep the other house if there's another house, or she can keep their car. And then how are we going to be liable for these liabilities going forward? They can say, okay, the husband can take the bond. Let's say there's a bond. He can be liable for the bond of the house. Then each party can pay their own liabilities. If there's businesses, who's going to share? It's like they can deal with the assets as if maybe they're divorcing, even though it's not divorce.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after that, we're going to put everything in the contract. But the parties should also be aware that that agreement, or even after change, it does not affect the rights of current creditors. In other words, if there's a bond over the house, both
Yeah.
parties are still liable in the eyes of the creditors. They cannot
Okay.
tell the bank that no, but we changed the marriage regime. I'm no longer
We
liable
changed our
because
marriage
my
contract.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in other words,
Oh.
they're still liable for all current creditors. In other words, if they're income property, they're liable jointly to the creditors. It will remain so until that debt is settled. It's only future liabilities after the change of marriage that now they're no longer liable for each other's debts. So, in other words, we are going
Okay.
to agree on the contract, do the notice of motion, and then one of the parties can attest to a founding affidavit to explain the whole process. Why are you changing? So what you need to do in the affidavit, you have to list all your assets and liabilities. In other words, both parties' assets and liabilities have to be listed there. And then furthermore, we have to state in the application that the parties are not sequestrated and there are no judgments under them, so that you can show the court that they are not changing now because they are running after creditors. That's why they want to change.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then that notice, we are going to get a court date in court, and then you are also going to apply for a court date. After that, we are going to serve by notice all the creditors. In other words, creditors or creditors of the parties have to know that these parties are in common property and they intend to change. And then we also have to notify the deeds office. The deeds registry office
Okay.
is where the properties like immovable properties like houses, funds are registered, where you get the title deed of the property. And that is also
Okay.
where marriage contracts are registered. In other words, you have to give them notice that these parties intend to change. What they do at
Okay.
the deeds office there after getting the application, they're going to compile a report for the court. In that
Okay.
report, they indicate that there are no sequestration, because sequestration is like you have been sequestrated. It's like you're running away from your liabilities. Then there can be problems because you can change marriage. It can have negative effects for creditors. And then they're going to compare report because a sequestration order has to be noted against the deeds office. They're going to indicate that there's no sequestration order against these parties. Then they're going to indicate if when you have immovable properties registered in the deeds office. They're going to say, okay, this person is the owner, registered owner of this property, and then maybe there's a bond of this value in favor of maybe a certain bank which is registered in favor of that bank. They're going to compile a report, and then they'll also raise an objection in the contract. If let's say you are finding an inexperienced, maybe because contracts usually are done by the publics. So if someone can do
Yes.
it, there may be errors, maybe. Then they'll indicate if they've got an objection, because some contracts are not registerable. Like in how you
Yes.
define parties, describe parties in notarial work is different from how people are being described out there. So they'll raise those issues in the contract, because remember we said that you have a draft contract that you want the court to approve. So they're going to look at the contract and see if it's registerable or not, or if there are any amendments which needs to be done. Then
Okay.
after that, you're going to also publicize or advertise the notice of change on
Eh,
government gazette, so that
uh-huh.
everyone can see. It's like it's a public advertisement. Everyone needs to see that you guys are changing the marriage regime, so that if they've got a dispute, then they can raise it. And then in other jurisdiction of courts, they also have to advertise into newspapers, so that people can see that you guys are changing the marriage regime. And then after that, you go to court on the final date of hearing, where your attorney is going to argue that the courts allow you guys to change marriage regimes. You have to prove to court or persuade court that there are grounds or reasonable grounds that you guys are relying on to change the marriage regimes. You also have to prove to court that current creditors are not going to be compromised or going to be negatively affected by a change of marriage. Then after that, the court grant you an order. I've never had any matter where I can say that I didn't get the order. So the courts are going to grant you that order. After obtaining the order now, you are going to register that contract. Remember, you had a contract before. In other words, they're approving that contract that you can change, and then you can register this contract. And then as a draft, you are going to now, if let's say it was done by an attorney is not allowed to attest to a marriage contract. In other words, now you have to get a notary public, or if your application was done by notary public, then the same notary public usually is going to proceed with that application, with that process. Now, after court order, then the parties have to sign that marriage contract, because before it was not signed, it was just a draft. Now they have to
Oh.
sign the contract, and on the contract they have to indicate that the parties were married in communal property and they've approached court on this date, and then under this case number, the court has agreed that the parties can change. Now, therefore, the parties are changing. Then you don't change the terms of what you agreed on before the marriage. So in other words, you are going
Okay.
to proceed with the forms that you, or with the arrangement that you court has approved, and then the notary public will get you to sign and then lodge your contract now with the deeds office, and the deeds office is going to register that contract, and then from the date of registration, then you are married out of communal property. So that is why this process
Such a
of
long process.
it's a long process, and then that's why people will be asking, why is it expensive? If people are saying it's expensive, with us it's not expensive.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm not with me.
Yes.
I'm just saying the way I say it's not expensive.
No. Listen, Mudi. Hakile seba ne, nili si kodi lawyer. Hakile seba. We are saying, those people are expensive. But
Yeah.
man,
Okay,
there is some sound. Where is the sound coming from? Is it coming from my side or from your side?
no, I can hear it, but I don't think.
There is a
Let me.
cuckoo side.
Okay, but let me also change the phones, because. Okay, let me change the phones. Let me get another phone. This is my wife's phone. I don't know. Maybe with women, something is happening there.
Okay, in the meantime, I'll go through the comments first. Let's attend to our viewers so that they know that we are still here for them. Evening, sis. That's Lydia. Hi, Sissy. Hi, Malawi. And then there's Mindlos. The sound is still here. Can it be on my side though? The network can come. It can actually make sound sometimes there. Mindlos had to make a notification, make sure that he gets the notification for this live. So this live is important to some people. Okay, this is when we were looking for you. And Pulani, Matejani, we can't see or hear you. But I think right now you can see us now, my sissy. Tell us if we are okay now on your side. I can see it even when I'm off, therefore, so it is public. And there is Noni, hi. And there is Loazi, Community of Property. And Loazi wants to know where can we find you and how. I think that's how we'll end this live. And Abdi Solomon, you're talking about Hussein Palifatem said. What about them? Tell us, because you just saying Fatem said or Skiepa, but you're not telling us what about them. What do you want to know about them? Hi Solomon. Marriage is a futile exercise and useless for the future and bleak, sisters. Hey, okay. We hear you. We hear your opinion. Arusanyala. But Habasanyala Mudi, you are making people not to want to marry anymore. Now, I think the one last question that I have for you this evening. I know. Last but one. Because there is I wonder the sound whether it's coming from my side or your side. It's a bit disturbing. I think it could be on my side. And if it's on my side, it would want us to start afresh, and we can't do that. Recalling guys. Oh, there was this lady, another follower, who asked if uh, the husband, the husband that is refusing with the three cars, should she go to spousal maintenance or should she file for divorce? Yeah, I remember this is the question that made me think like that made me question you when I said, what do you think about people that sound like they are undecided on what to do? Because
Yeah,
if you ask a lawyer, should I go for spousal maintenance or should I file for divorce? It sounds like you're not sure of divorce. Am I
yeah.
right?
That is the problem. And as a lawyer, I don't know with others, but I cannot advise a person on what to do. It's like they have to tell the lawyer what they need to do. Because what happens with our practice is that we take instructions. We are creatures of instructions. We have to do what the client wants.
Yes.
So
So
yeah,
I
it's
must
not
come to you when I have decided as
when
to
they're
what
sure.
I want. Yes. And then here's another question. They say, can you please break down judgment between Jane Bwanya and the Master of High Court in Cape Town? That is Mindos Ndimeliso Mpepu.
Yeah, the can put down.
That's the question on the platform.
I
Can
think
you break down?
I'll be assuming, but I think this is the case where yeah, I think that's the case. Even though I don't have the details, but it was a case in Cape Town, somewhere. Yeah, I think this case started in Cape Town, then it ended up in the Constitutional Court. Yeah, in this matter, there was a lady who stayed with the boyfriend, where that relationship was defined as a like life partners, and I think the the boyfriend passed away.
Oh,
Yeah, and then when they passed away, then the lady was claiming a share or half of the joint estate, even though they weren't married. Because in our law, what happens is that it's only parties who are married who are usually known to have rights to claim from the other part. In other words, if you are just my girlfriend, you don't claim from my estate. So in that case, the case was not defended. It was just a straightforward application, but the party was not defended. And then she was claiming that she is a life partner. They were intentions to get married, even though they did not legally get married, but they were life partners. And then she also claimed that she contributed in the joint estate of the boyfriend, so that she can be
yes.
able to claim. And then the courts agreed with her that she can claim. I'm just logging on using my phone and proceed with that response. So
Wow.
yeah, okay, let me switch off this one.
On that one.
Yeah. You cannot trust the wife's phone, eh?
Yeah. Okay. And it could be my network. Tell me if I'm still not audible or can you still hear the sound? And if it's my network, I have to at least get out and then come in again. It will cause us to get another link and so on. It's gonna be a long procedure. Sorry, guys. Sorry to everybody that is watching that is being disturbed by the sound. Okay. Yes, we are still on this one. Wait. Let me add you first. Hey.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Thank you very much. Okay, what happens is that in law, there's something that is called um, partnership.
Okay. Wait,
But
just a bit.
yeah,
Guys, please
uh,
invite others for this remaining time. This 5 more minutes. Invite others so that they see the live. They will watch it from the beginning because I'm gonna save it. Just let them come so that they get interested, and then they will
Mm.
follow after. Yes, you can carry
Mm.
on, sir.
So yeah. So in our laws, there's something which is called partnership, which
Okay.
applies not only in marriages, but it also applies in business. Well, we can say usually it's in business.
Mm.
Even though the contract is not in writing, it is where parties contribute towards a common goal. It's like
Okay.
it's like business. We're investing towards a common goal,
Yes.
and then if you're able to prove partnership that we had the intention to invest or to contribute something into this business or into this partnership, and then
Mm.
for profit, in other words, there should
Yes.
be something to gain, then the courts will agree that there was partnership, and then that parties have to share 50% from that joint venture. So
Okay.
there are people who think that that case is entitling people who are not married to claim half share from the estate of the other party. That was not the case. The lady there was proving a partnership, not marriage as such, even though as people bring cases, they just allege everything that maybe, but it was not. She was not awarded assets because she's a girlfriend. It was because she was treated as if she was a partner. In that
Okay.
matter, the lady was assisting in the business. I think the guy was a business person. She was working
Okay.
in the business, and then she was not getting a salary like other employees. Other employees were getting salaries. She was not
Yes.
getting a salary. So in other words, she was like an investor in the
Yes.
in partnership.
Goodness.
So that's how she was treated. So people,
Oh.
if they're not married, they should not think that it is going to be their case. They have to prove
Oh.
partnership, which is very, very difficult to prove in court if
Okay.
we're talking about a partnership in marriage,
Okay.
because it
Sure.
is not in writing. You have to indicate how it unfolded or what is it that you contributed in that partnership to show that you are entitled to something.
All
So it
right.
is not easy as such. So the lady in
So
that business,
there
she
was
was
not even
working for free.
lobola between the two of them.
No, no, they are not even Africans. I think I'm not sure. They're not even Africans.
Okay. Oh,
They are
but
South
in
Africans,
that
but
case, she
not
proved
Africans.
partnership in business.
Ma'am,
She proved partnership in business. The
in
case
business
was
because
more about,
they
yes,
yeah, the husband, they were staying together for a long time, and then
yes.
the husband was running a business. Then the
Okay.
lady was working in the business. She was not getting a salary. It's like,
Okay.
remember, with the owner of the business, he doesn't get a salary,
Yes.
but there were other employees who were getting a salary. So she was
Yes.
saying that was in a partnership. In other words, that's how she managed to
To
to prove
win
a
that
case.
case.
So
All right.
parties have to prove partnership,
Okay.
that
So
you are
the last
contributing for the common goal. Yeah.
oh wow. So the last question that I have for you this evening is, oh, Manda says
And
thank
then, okay,
you.
before we proceed, I think
Yes.
the follower who posted that question can also maybe WhatsApp me or send me a messenger so that we can take that matter forward. I can explain to that person. Maybe may find that maybe it's an attorney or a student doing law, so I can take it forward and then also
Oh
peruse
yes.
the case, because remember now is quoting a case. I don't have a case before me. I'm just
Yes.
knowing that the name Bajwa, I've read the case, but
Yes.
it was a long time ago. So we
Okay.
can just take it forward so that if maybe there are errors that I've made, we can
Yes.
try to clarify them. Yeah.
Okay. So you want his numbers, or he should take your
I don't know.
numbers at the end of
Yeah,
our session,
it's either
because
if you can,
you're gonna provide them with where can they
yeah,
find you?
with the number, or you can send a
Yes.
messenger if maybe he has my messenger. Then I can have a look at the case and I can call him so that we can discuss it further for clarity. Because remember now, you can just post another case law which happened 10 years ago,
Okay.
5 years ago. It's like the facts won't be fresh in my mind. But I know that
Okay. I hope
I know the case.
okay. I hope Mindlos you are listening, ne? You'll do so.
Yeah.
And then he says thank you for the heads up. I was scared my ex
Mhm.
he says
Oh,
he was scared his ex will
okay.
come and claim my
Yeah,
pregnant
no.
TV and kept.
No, no, there's no case. There's no case
Okay,
because if that is the case, remember now there's termination of partnership. In other words, if they're not researching together, another person cannot come and claim after.
okay,
No, cannot happen. That
oh,
one passed. That one, the boyfriend passed away during the relationship.
oh, okay. So he says, indeed, he is an LLB student, and he thanks you a lot. He says he will DM you.
Yeah, okay,
So
must do
can I
so.
move on to the last question?
Yeah, we can move.
The last question is, there are many partners or in marriage who are married in community of property, and then one of the partners go behind the back of the other to take loans, lots and lots of loans. We know actually the lenders are not supposed to be giving loans to one partner if they are married in community of property. But the truth of the matter is, it does happen in real life. I was married once. I saw it happen in my case. I would
Hey,
find evidence that there were loans.
so
So it does
so
happen. So now
you
let's
nearly
say
died.
I nearly died. So let's say it happens that now this other one goes behind kids. Oh, and then the other one is trying to, ensure that things are floating. They are well. The other one is trying to sink the boat. Would you advise such couples? Because most of the time that becomes a bone of content in marriage to a point where people divorce. Now, would you encourage such couples to dissolve the marriage in order to solve that problem? Because maybe the other one is angry, and that is maybe the only thing that stands between their marriage. Everything else is smooth. But now, ntho e ba qabantshang e one, ke ena dikoloto, o mong rata dikoloto, o mong ha rate dikoloto. Now, would you not recommend that maybe they change the regime of their marriage to out of community of property, such that as and dikoloto, a shebana le dikoloto tsa hae a le one, and then this one offloadang o batla mo dula a float ha mnati, the sinking one a sink ya le one.
Okay. Let me start in front, going backwards now. So
Yes,
to change a marriage regime with attorneys, it's not difficult. With us, it's not difficult. Yeah,
yes,
within 2 months, 3 months, we can change your marriage regime. But
okay.
now the only
The lenders,
opportunity that you're going to
I
get
think. Mm.
is from your partner. It's not from the lenders. The lenders are not going to worry about that, because
Oh,
remember, I said that in the eyes of the lenders, you guys are still liable for these debts that you had
yes,
before you change your marriage regime. You're still
yes,
liable.
of
They
course.
don't mind. Even if you change, if they want to sue for their money, they're going to sue both of you.
Yes.
So the only opportunity that you get in these matters is your spouse.
Mm.
Remember, I said that it has to be a joint application by both parties.
Yes.
So now,
Yeah.
uh, the party who has let me explain what this change simply means.
Mm.
Remember,
Mm.
changing marriage regime simply means that you, as my wife, you have
Mm.
pension funds, you have
Mm.
assets,
Mm.
you have whatever, you have
Mm.
investment businesses.
Mm.
If on my side I've got liabilities that maybe
Yes.
sometimes I'm even unable to pay, it's because I don't have
Yes.
money. It's because I
Mm.
don't have money. Number one.
Mm.
So
Mm.
when we change, it simply means that you are telling me that we are changing now. You are going to
Mm.
keep all your assets,
Mm.
and then now I'm still married to you, but if it happens that we divorce, I'm not going to
Mm.
get anything from your assets.
Mm.
That's simply what it means.
Mm.
In other words, I know that I don't have anything, but when now your worth is 10 million. If you divorce
Mm.
next week after changing marriage regime, I'm not going to get anything out of it. It's like that is what you are telling me. So
Mm.
between the parties, it becomes difficult. There's another matter
Mm.
that we did, I think on 27 November last year,
Mm.
where we did the whole application. Remember, to do all applications. Then we obtained the court order to say that they can change because they agreed. And then the husband resigned somewhere in November. And then when they were supposed to sign with me now to lodge the contract, the husband refused. He says he's not signing. So the opposition that you are going to get is from your partner. So people must not think that it's as simple as such.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So he refused to sign, and now he's
Mm.
showing his pension fund. And at first, the lady came to us because she wanted to divorce. Then after that, I think they tried to fix their issues. Then they agreed on
Yeah.
changing because the husband had debts of about 600,000. I think. Yes. Capitec, not Capitec, this African bank, 2 loans. I don't know how they approved these guys, but at the end, it was
Mm,
about 600,000 of liabilities. Then the lady was loaded, pension fund, what about 1.8 million. They had a house. It's like the guy had lots of debts, and then their wife didn't know what he was doing with them or how did he obtain or qualify for them because you can see that she doesn't qualify. So she wanted to divorce when she approached us, but as many people do, they start divorce. That's why I said that when you start divorce, it must be the last option. Don't go back. It's like
yes.
there's no going back. In other words, I think the
Mm,
husband played his cards well. She managed to convince her to stop with the divorce. We didn't even issue the divorce papers. She called us later to say that no, they've rekindled their relationship. Instead, they want to change from income property to out. I said no problem, we can do it. Started the process, and then uh, in other words, when he started the process, the husband agreed to sign all the papers. But maybe in his mind, he had the intention of resigning and getting another employment because we did everything. I think they approached us for this change of marriage somewhere in September. And then November 27, we obtained the court order. Then we closed
yes.
towards December. January, we come back. Then I called them to come and sign the marriage regime, their marriage contract. And people must
Yes.
be aware that when after getting the order, the court will indicate how long it will take for you to do that change. Usually,
Oh,
with us, we are asking for 3 months, but with others, maybe we find
okay.
that they're asking for shorter period. I've never had any matter where the judge will agree on more than 3 months. Then that time, if
Yes.
it expires, we have to do another application. You're not going to just change.
You
Then
must start
when they were supposed to
afresh.
come, yeah. Then when they were supposed to come, the lady came alone. Oh, I think they came together. Along the way, they were together, and they fought
Yes.
along the way because the guy didn't want to sign. And then that's when she even told her that, oh, but she was now aware that the guy is resigning from work. He was just waiting for his pension fund. I think he got it. Then he refused to change. As I'm speaking now, the lady moved from the out of the house. They are still married, but are they going to divorce? It's going to be tough because now, when you want to divorce now, there's a chance that your pension
Guys,
fund
good tough.
will have to be sold.
Good tough. Mjolo.
Okay. So, and then with liabilities, let's talk on how it works if you are income property. Uh,
No, it's tough.
Parties
Tough.
are
It's
not,
tough. It's tough.
yeah, parties are not allowed to incur these long-term liabilities or credits in terms of the law without the signature of the other party. In other words, you have to sign. You cannot buy a car by loan without your spouse signing. But what is happening in real life is that people are running business out there. Financial institutions are running businesses out there.
Yes.
If they were to follow that process, they're not going to make money. There are people
Yes.
who are driving motor vehicles, especially if you can go to men. Men
Yes.
knows cars. They're not going to be driving. I don't want to say that car that
Yes.
when there's wind, it can even shake, but you know it. So men are not going to drive that car. They're going to incur liabilities. I remember there's another matter when the
Yes.
issue of divorce in that matter was a GTI. Yeah, the guy was smart, managed to convince the wife to purchase a GTI using her names because his names, I think, he's double blacklisting. Then, yeah, they
They
got
were
the car.
still clean. Yes.
Yeah, in other words, people can drive expensive cars. If we look at men, men drive expensive cars. They don't compromise. But you find that now they don't qualify. So if let's say, as the husband, I were to go and purchase a car or by loan, if I were to ask my wife, sometimes she can refuse to say no. But you know that we don't have food at home. You don't pay school fees. Like you don't assist me with anything at home. You don't pay
Yes.
school fees.
Yes.
You don't do this. You don't do that.
Mm.
But you are still going to buy a car. So in other words, if you look at it business wise, creditors in such cases are not going to make money because people are not going to stand for each other. Sometimes find that there's
True.
parties are still married, but as a wife, you want to buy a car, or as a husband, he wants to buy a car. But to call my ex wife, remember you call each other ex, even though you're still married, she's not going to come and sign.
Yes.
So at the end of the day,
Yes.
they are going to make means that when now you obtain that loan without the signature of the other part, it's either they can just indicate on the papers there that you are not married. It's not their baby to say that wow,
Or
right now you cannot
there
even,
are,
yeah.
there are those spouses who would go to the length of taking someone to go and sign on the wife's behalf. I know
And
that
no, I think
kind
that
as
one
well.
will be, yeah, maybe they can do it,
It's
but
fraud.
that can
They
also
would
be
commit
negligent
fraud.
on the side. Yeah, it's
Mm.
fraud, but on the part of the of the creditors, I think it's also negligence because you have to verify the identity of the person who's coming there.
Yes.
If you are,
Mm.
yeah, you have to verify. So what I know is that
Mm.
in some cases, in many cases, is that on this form that you are ticking the boxes, whatever, they'll just tick for you that you are not married. It's like when you are telling them that I'm not married, I want the loans, they'll give you, and then the defense will be that this person never indicated that he or she is married. Because once you say that you are married, they're going to require your spouse to. It's like there'll be questions even in court if you're to challenge it. Did you get the consent from the other party?
Oh, yeah. So a person
So you can,
can get there and say, no, I'm single.
yeah, I'm
When they
single.
fill the
It's
form
not their
and
duty
everything.
to verify. It's not their duty to
Yeah.
verify. So
Oh,
then difficulty, the only difficulty in obtaining loan will be when you are purchasing a house via bond, because now
yes.
with conveyancing, it's conveyancers who are dealing with properties. As a conveyancer,
Yes.
I have to verify your marital status.
Okay.
Even if you can come to me and say you are not married, with your ID
Yes.
number, I'm going to find out that you are married. Even if you can see that
Yes.
you are married out of communal property, then I have to source in your marriage contract to see what terms are there in your marriage contract. In other words, that's why it becomes difficult for a party to purchase a house or to even sell a
Okay.
house if you are married and your marriage is
Without
official,
the
is
other one
registered. In other
knowing.
words,
Yes.
without the other one,
Okay.
because we are going to pick it up.
Yes.
So
Loisy says,
yeah,
I'm a
that's the
victim
problem.
of
So
paying debts. Yay.
mm,
Guys, so many people are victims of paying debts that they didn't do.
yeah, then
FNB
if
will
you, if you
even
may
call
proceed,
you out for another person's debts. They had no signature of yours. Yo, yeah,
yeah,
hey, yeah, these
let
creditors. Meh.
yeah, but let me also proceed there. So if let's say your spouse was to come back with a brand new car by debt,
Yes,
if you want to challenge it, you know that is a debt, you didn't sign for it, it's better to do it as soon as possible. Instead of waiting for
oh,
4 years, now where you're driving it, posting
yes,
on Facebook that no, I'm driving this car, nyeh, 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 nyeh,
yes,
nyeh, nyeh. You are happy, but it's only on divorce that now you start to raise that I didn't sign for that debt. Usually court, I mean,
yes.
it's like, I don't know, with me, I cannot take such case because you knew about that debt
That's
for 5 years. Why are you raising it now because you're divorcing? It's better to challenge it as soon as possible. Go to that dealer, tell them that you didn't sign for it, challenge it in court, you'll be successful. But not to wait and benefit from that
for
asset
years.
only to raise it later that you didn't sign for it. And then,
Only when things
uh,
don't go well.
yeah, that's when now you start to raise it. So
Mm.
the remedy in this matter, if let's say it happens that another party obtain a, a liability or they sell or alienate something without your consent or a written consent, as the law requires consent, is that you can ask for remedy on divorce.
Okay.
In terms of Section 59 of the Matrimonial Property Act, it's like if another party does something without your consent, knowing very well that they're not going to get consent from you, and then they alienate an asset. Let's say they sell an asset or a house or a car without your signature, knowing that you won't agree, then you can raise it on divorce, and then you ask for something which is called adjustment. In other words, if let's say somebody sold the house, which is rare,
Mm-hmm.
it could be rare for you to sell the
Yes.
house if your marriage is
Without
registered. Because
the other
remember,
party.
we are going to pick it up. But let's say now
Yes.
you are married in communal property, but in terms
Mm-hmm.
of customary marriage, where your marriage is not registered, what happens is that the conveyancer may not pick up that when you are not married because your marriage records at Home Affairs are going to indicate when we source them that you are single or you are unmarried. That person is going to be able to sell the house because we don't know that they're married to you. Then
Of
when you
course.
come on divorce, you can claim that no, at that time I was married to this person and he was supposed to get my written consent to sell the property. He didn't
Yes.
so he didn't get my consent. He did so without my permission. In other words, now you can claim half of what you got from that sale. But you are doing it only on divorce. It's called
Oh,
adjustment.
all
So you can
right.
still ask for adjustment.
Okay. Thank you so much. Any parting words?
No, I know nothing.
Okay. Where do we
Other than
find
that,
you?
uh,
Where do we find
you
you?
can
Want a divorce? Where do we find you?
yeah, yeah, you can find me on Facebook. On Facebook, it's like I'm always there. And then some
Yes.
of you can come home. I'm joking, eh? I'm
Joe,
joking.
don't do that. They will come for
Yeah.
real.
You'll find a queue. You'll find a queue. There are problems in marriages. So you can also find me on 011
011.
8845.
Can I put it on the comment section and
Yeah,
I'll try to put
yeah,
it there? It's
yeah, you can put it there. 011
011
845
845
and then 7940.
7940.
40. Yeah, there's someone
Okay, let
who's
me
always
write.
waiting for that call. Yeah. And then also on Messenger, I'm on Messenger and I'm on Facebook.
Okay. And yes, I think they've had. So Facebook
Yeah,
with the
Facebook is
same
Mudi
name.
Mavhengani. Same name, Mudi Mavhengani. And that one is it's an account, it's on the page, it's my account. We've got a page, but I'm not busy on the page because yeah, my account is the one that I'm busy
Oh,
with.
I think I've lost your number. Let me just give it to me
Okay.
again. It's 011
Zero zero one one
845
eight four five seven nine
yeah
four zero seven nine four zero.
7940. Okay. And then yes. Yeah. Oh, I repeated it again. Okay, no problem. Oh no, it's on Facebook and on YouTube and on Messenger, Facebook Messenger. Please don't be a stranger.
Yeah, yeah, and then what I can just emphasize maybe from I think it was last week the issue of paying lobola. People should just
Yes,
understand that if they're paying lobola or if someone is going to come negotiate and pay lobola, they are
yes,
married. If
yes.
they don't want
Please
to get
repeat
married,
it again.
they
Oh,
must not even start.
please repeat it
Okay,
again. People don't
I'm
believe
saying
this.
I'm saying
Yes.
if parties don't want to get married, they must not even start with the issues of lobola. You are not
Yes,
going to go to people's houses and then when I later you'll be claiming that you were just there to knock, but it was a kokota.
yes,
You don't
yes.
go to people's houses and kokota. No,
Mm.
you kokota and then
They
your
should
uncles
know.
even drink people's
Makokota
tea.
is manyala. You kokot, you
Yeah, because
nyal.
unless if you knock, you go yourself, you knock, then they say come in, you go in there and then you sit down. But remember, they are going there to negotiate and
Yes,
agree on your
with the
marriage. In other
uncles
words,
and the next
yeah, it's like in other words, that thing is marriage. If you want to do
witness.
it and then you want to do out of communal property, do marriage contract before you even start with the lawol. Don't think
Yes,
otherwise.
and
Some parties
if
will try. Sometimes parties
please
will try
okay,
to. Some parties will try to convince you that no, let's just lawol. We're just doing it for the families.
yes,
Then
yes,
after we'll do the prenup. You are fooling
yes,
yourself. After
yes,
there may be troubles, you won't even see home affairs. Then when you divorce,
yes,
you are in communal property. So
yes,
do prenups before lobola if you want to marry out of
yes,
communal property. If you don't want to get married at all, you are not ready. Don't even
yes,
agree on
yes.
negotiating lobola. Don't send your people. Don't agree your boyfriend to send these people.
Mm.
Don't even agree.
Please repeat the one. There's something that you said last week. You said there are people that like to surprise others with
Yeah,
their
that
uncles, and
that one is a problem.
I've seen that just anything. I've seen that
Mm,
again in many cases where maybe they had an agreement, they had a huge disagreement, and
mm,
maybe one the guy has cheated. Now he wants to show I'm committed to you, baby. No, that one was just that, and then
mm.
you are in my heart. Let me show you,
Yeah,
and then
right,
surprise with
dear.
the uncles.
Right, dear. Or sometimes ba romela batho le pude one ya sekgafi futhi ba tle ba ikgoga ba tle le yona bese wena o nyetse ka ka pudi ya sekgafi and then you are in communal property ka pude one, yeah, in communal property. So so people should be careful about these things. Should be
They
careful.
should be. So if
Let's
now
be careful.
my husband, who's now my husband, the minute
Mm,
the uncles came, and now we were surprised, and at the same time I was now happy. Oh, he does love me. And then we opened the doors for the uncles. They came in, and my uncles had to be called fast, and now
mm.
the negotiations happened. What's my your advice again? What's my legal point from then
My,
onwards?
my advice is that if the two parties ended up agreeing, remember they're going to call you. But with uncles, usually they
Yes,
don't ask you. They tell you. They tell you. They don't ask you. They
yes,
tell you that you are old.
yes,
You are old.
yes,
Uh, if you are a lady, they are going to tell you that when pela. Why only fitwa? Pela when only fitwa.
yes,
You are
yes.
you
I
are just staying home here. You are finishing. We are finishing our food. Sometimes maybe
forgot. Yes,
only fitwa. You are finishing our food. Sometimes you find that
yes,
maybe with that person you have 3 children. You are home with 3 children. It's like it's about honor wena mara wena mara. It's like I man wena. They are going even if you teach them just to let you
yes,
go. Wabona.
yeah,
So that's a problem. If it happens in that manner, and then when you are not ready to get married, immediately the following week, challenge it in court to say,
yes.
no, I never agreed. We never agreed on this.
As soon
So
as
it will
possible.
be declared null and void that this marriage doesn't
Okay,
exist. There was no agreement. But parties are not
all
doing
right.
it because they are happy. So if they are happy, they
Yes.
don't do it. They'll only try to raise it after years when the other party now
When the
starts to be,
happiness has faded, yeah.
yeah, and when the other party is issuing divorce, or when we're now you are not happy, that's when you said, no, I want to declare my marriage invalid. But when did you
Yes.
find out that it was invalid? So it's going to be difficult for you at a later stage. Do it immediately if that's the case.
Thank you so much.
Mm.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
availing yourself once again. Sorry for the hiccups that happened again this evening,
Mm.
but at least I think on your side, the people did get to see the live. It was public. Thank you
Yeah, no,
so much.
that's public.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you're welcome. And thanks you for
Thank
those
you
who
so
are
much.
following and those who are listening.
Yes.
Thank
To the followers, a good night, guys. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And please pass the greetings on your side there, sir. And
Yeah,
good
and
night.
today I was serious. Today I was serious. I was not even laughing.
Yeah, you serious. No, next
Yeah,
week
I
we
was
must
serious.
just bring the. And is it not
I
our
was
last week?
serious.
It's our last week next week. So at
Next
least
week,
there
yeah,
must be
next week.
some vavavoom.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you
and
so
then
much.
my wife would even come here and dance for you guys.
Please, would love it. Tell her I said so.
Okay.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye
Good
bye.
night.